Okay, this meeting's being recorded.
Oops.
This is when I hit my mute button.
Okay.
That must have been Big Brother watching in right after that conversation.
Kind of sounded that way, didn't it?
Yeah, that was weird. I've never had that happen when I start the recording before.
No.
Well, anyway, we don't do anything wrong nowadays, so you can record whatever you want. We're all trained, and we know exactly what to say and do, and so it's all good. So we're in really good shape. I just 4th of July is coming right around the corner, so we got stuff we got to do and things, and we kind of got a reprieve last year. We didn't do anything, so things are picking up.
Great, things are picking up. We're getting back to some sense of normalcy is what we're doing.
Yeah, normal except for labor.
Or trying to find labor, trying to find somebody to actually want to work.
Yeah, we're even having a challenge, and we're at the higher end stuff. So it's really crazy out there.
It's pretty universal. It's tough to find people, that's for sure.
Don't worry, John. The government's here to help.
Thank you, Keith. Now I feel better. No, it's so much better. So, yeah. You did a good job last week, Keith. That was great.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't know how many of you got to see our police department's post from, I think it was last night.
Yes, it was great.
What they're dealing with, and that is a little bit about what I touched on with the police reform bills that I'm sure were well-intentioned, but aren't going to have the effect I think that people hope they would. That's just one example of what's going to be happening across the state and that our officers have to deal with, sadly.
Yeah. Yeah, and I encourage you.
There were 500 responses to that post. Yeah, people are reacting to.
Yeah, that's good. They should. And if you haven't had a chance to find it, our police chief, Mr. Tucker, does a wonderful job of putting stuff out on social media. And what he put out last night was spot on. So check it out. Anyway, my clock says it's 12:15. So I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. Welcome to the Cedar Woolley Rotary Club, the best Rotary Club in the universe. Today's invocation is by Tim Lear. If you'd please all rise.
Thanks, Mike. Heavenly Father, please bless this club and those here today and guide us in our service of this community. We also thank you for others who serve us, police and other law enforcement, fire and rescue professionals, and our servicemen and women around the world. Bless us and give us the humility to serve each other and our community effectively. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now the four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? Go ahead and have a seat. I believe Mr. Sorstead has a song for us.
You bet I do, President Mike. Hey, in honor of Patrick Janicki and in recognition of all the volunteers that have dedicated time and energy to working on Patrick's playground, I thought it would be appropriate to do, I've been working on the railroad, and Bill McCann's always saying, Keith, you sing your songs too slow. So I'm gonna pick up the tempo here a little bit, and those of you that wanna join with me, or you can just lip sync in the background. It just depends on what you wanna do. So here we go. Once again, in honor of Patrick Janicki here. I've been working on the railroad all the livelong day. I've been working on the railroad just to pass the time away. Don't you hear the whistle blowing? Rise up so early in the morn. Don't you hear the captain shouting? Dinah, blow your horn. Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow your horn? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow your horn? Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Someone's in the kitchen, I know. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Strumming on the old banjo and singing fee-fi, fiddly-I-o, fee-fi, fiddly-I-o, fee-fi, fiddly-I-o, strumming on the old banjo.
Wonderful. Thank you, Keith. Can't wait till we're all together and we can actually sing as one. That'll be fun again. Do we have any visiting Rotarians? I'm looking at the screen and I don't see anybody. Speak up if you're out there. Do we have any visitors other than our guest speaker, Ms. McKenzie, who will get properly introduced later on? Doesn't look like anybody. Okay, well, moving right along. Time for club business. Rotary Foundation Weekly Moment. Why we support our Rotary Foundation. Every minute of every day, someone's life is being improved by our Rotary Foundation. Rotary clubs on every continent are working to improve the living conditions and health of their fellow citizens. Rotarians like you and me can make a difference by continually supporting our foundation in the annual fund. As Rotarians, we determine where funds are allocated through district designated funds, which we can use for local or international projects. When we contribute to our foundation, we are promoting worldwide peace and understanding. Only if every Rotarian every year makes a gift to the annual fund, we will be able to continue to do the great work of the Rotary Foundation. Thank you for your support. Now just moving on to some general business here. We had a work party last weekend out at the Martins' house in the pouring down rain. It was an absolutely wet day. We were climbed around in the brush and pulled fences down and planted trees in the mud, and it was just a wonderful time. Thank you to all the volunteers that came out. I think we got a lot done, and the Martins were very happy with what we did do. Brock Stiles, you want to talk about the foot race?
Sure, and I see Kyle's there. Kyle, what do you got to say? You go first this time.
Okay. Let's see. T-shirts are on order. We sent out an email today and 2 days ago for people that have run in the past. Over 40 runners have registered in the first 36 hours, which is unbelievable. So I'm really surprised. It's great. Our target is probably 50%. That's what races are running around here. So that'd be about 250 to 300 runners. So, but getting 40 in the first 36 hours was pretty fun. Bibs are ordered, ribbons are ordered. We're doing chip timing this year, coordinating with those people. That will allow us to have that separation that we need to have. I still owe Julia and the health department an email on describing all the things, and I've been bouncing around with a couple other race directors on making sure that all the steps that they're contemplating or taking to do it. We'll need volunteers, which I think Brock will address. Typical registration will be similar in number of people, but not, but you know, more spaced. And then thanks to John, we'll have, John and I just talked about the finish line, start line, banner and all that stuff will go up there. So Brock, do you want to take it over? Yeah, everything, and then I'm done. See ya.
No, you're not. Just getting started. Anyway, had a great response to Rotary's meeting last week with people putting in chat, volunteering, and got home and saw about 20 volunteers saying that they could do various things. And so by next week, I'll put together the participation list so you'll know exactly where you've been assigned, and we can still use some more at this point. So, but I think we got registration. We probably got close to 10 people for that already, which is great. Traffic control, I'm just kind of plugging people in where they kind of have normally done it in the past. And so do you want to see, Stephanie, are you able to do township and state again like you did last year or 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay, and a couple people said they couldn't, they're going to be out of town. Rick Limley and Daryl Skiles, I believe, are both going to be out of town. So we need to plug in some new people into some of those spots where they've been doing. Daryl, how many years have you done this anyway? All the way to the beginning, right?
I believe so. I've missed a few in between when I was in England and other places, but.
Right, but okay, well, we'll miss you again this year.
Sorry.
So anyway, if you haven't already volunteered, I've gotten quite a few of you. Just go ahead and just email me again or chat right now and I'll get you plugged in. And next week we'll have a long list of everybody that's volunteered so far so you'll know where you're at. And just so everybody knows, I haven't gotten any word from Nick Van Jarsveld about volunteering or helping anywhere, so.
Isn't you man? Come on, I'm running. You know, I gotta get the kids down here. It's a mess.
All right, he's gonna go with that excuse, but that's fine.
Yeah. Brock, are you running?
Am I running? You know, I haven't decided yet. I don't know.
Do we want, could we vote? It's a democracy.
Yeah, I say we vote. I like that.
Yeah, so what's the vote? That you don't want to see me running or you do want to see me running?
We want to see you try to run. At your normal pace.
Okay, well, that's not very fast. So, okay, all those in favor, let's see how many, raise your hand, raise your hand. Okay, well, there's a few. How about those that don't want to see me run? Anybody? Uh-oh, Pat Eason saying he doesn't want to be subjected to that, so. Anyway, okay, I'll run, all right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Good job, Brock.
Carl Garrison, he's already said he's running too.
Good.
Carl.
We got some people doing stuff. For those new members who don't really understand what volunteering for this foot race is, it's basically you're going to be standing on a street corner making sure cars don't get in the way. That's pretty much all you're going to be doing. You'll get there 9:15. Well, the race starts at 9:30. You'll be done by, I don't know, 10:30, 10:45, something like that.
Mike, there's a lot more to it. Okay. First of all, you get a vest. So
I forgot about the vest.
Yeah.
The stylish vest.
You look official. And then all these out-of-towner people are going to ask you things, about, police policy, whatever, all kinds of stuff. And then you just tell them all kinds of things.
Whatever you want.
And then you give them real authority and stuff. And so it's actually a real power trip. So you need to jump into this and do it. Do it right.
But John, you forget there's no parade with the thousands and thousands of people that you have to deal with. So it's not as complex this year.
Okay. All right.
Okay. There you go. Anyway, there we go.
So one last question. Phil Mihalik offered to do oranges and everything again at the start-finish line. You want to do that, Kyle?
Yeah, as long as we keep them moving through. We've been, one of the things they say is they don't want congregations at the end, especially breathing hard, doing all those things. At this, as of July 1st, there's, rumors that things will change in the state. So,
okay. Well, we'll scatter things around. He puts the oranges in little cups and people can come and get them. And
yeah, that'd be great. And we also have the little finisher ribbons. So, there will be some, but hopefully not too much congregating. And all the finish information is going to be posted online, so we don't have to do the places and everything like that, and have people congregating and waiting. We'll just post it online. It's all I think that's safer.
Okay, sounds great. Thanks, everybody.
There we go. If you haven't volunteered, please do. Date of the installation dinner was changed to Friday, July 9th at 6 o'clock at the community center. This is really going to be our first chance to really congregate as a club. So get signed up, talk to Ellen Schweikert, email her, give her a call, something like that, and let her know that you're coming and you're bringing somebody or whatever the case may be. Auction update, Tim Howland.
We're starting to get some silent auction items coming in, which is great. And people are asking for slips. The slips are available at Brock's office, Brock and Tim's office. Nick, do you have any? Yeah, I thought I had. So Nick has some there. The Chamber of Commerce has slips. And then John Angleby has them over at his dental office at United General. So that's where you can get the slips. Remember, when you go into a business, like I went to E&E Lumber, Dave's going to do a donation, but then let Becky know and she'll put it down on her list of donors. And then we don't have 15 people going into the same place asking for donors. So I don't know if Becky's on right now, but anyway, she has a site where we can go and find out who the donors are, who has been there or who will go there, and talk to them about getting a donation, and who's been contacted and they've made a donation, whatever. So we'll get Becky to get that information out to everybody. Other than that, we're just going ahead working on different things. We're trying to create some videos with the kids that received scholarships this year. Carrie just sent me a note that we're going to try to do something with that. And Eric, did you get that message yet from Carrie?
Yeah, I did and replied.
Okay. Does that sound like that might work for you?
Yeah, that would be a good way to get it taken care of.
Okay, so that's good. Then we're also trying to put one together of third graders getting a dictionary. Again, these things, these videos that Eric is going to make would be put on during the Raise the Paddle for the scholarships and the dictionaries. I think they'd be a good idea. I think they're useful. They take a lot of Eric's time, believe it or not. I think he figures an hour or 2 hours of editing for each minute of video. So you can see that there's a lot of fooling around to get this done. So if he calls on you for help, or if you can help him get any of this done, that would be great. For instance, I don't know a single third grader in this whole school district. So I need to rely on some of you probably in the schools or parents that have a third grader that we can get a picture of or a video of holding a dictionary and saying thanks to Rotary, those kinds of things. So we're coming into the crunch time and really need people to step up and help us on some of these things that we're trying to put together. And there are other videos that are going to be made as well. So when you get a call from Eric, please do what you can to help him out with that. Other than that, the plans with the Woolly Market are going ahead. There are parties planned, and that's the state of affairs at this point. We're not working on the playground, so over the next several days, I'm going to be able to do a lot more work on this. Okay, any questions about it or suggestions, comments, etc.? That's it, Mike.
Okay, thanks, Tim. Thanks for the update. Everybody remember, you're in charge of getting at least 3 items for the silent auction, whether you procure them from somebody else or donate them yourself. The expectation is 3 items, so get out there and get them. On the subject of Patrick's Playground, they are kind of taking a break right now, waiting for some things to happen. There is a dedication ceremony tentatively scheduled for August 14th right now. More details will come on that. In-person meetings, tentatively set to start July 8th. We're working all the details out, but the city is opening the community center as of July 6th. So that first Thursday, July 8th, we're planning on being in there. We're still working out the details as far as, doing a hybrid approach or just in person, but we're going to figure it out. Becky Scrindy, Helping Hands Food Bank fundraiser. Do you have all the volunteers you need? You need a couple more still? Where are we at?
Yeah, still looking for 2 more volunteers. In person closes today. Obviously, the virtual experiences are good up until the time it starts. So if you want to volunteer or you want to buy your tickets, please do it today. Or if it's virtual, it doesn't matter until Saturday. But we are almost at capacity, very, very close. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, we're good. If you just contact me if you want to help.
Perfect. Thank you, Becky. This is a great opportunity to do what we do. Get out there and volunteer. We need 2 more people to step up and get a hold of Becky. And I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but if you can volunteer Saturday night, be approximately from 5 to 9-ish, please do. And that's all I got. Are there any other announcements? Nobody's making any noise, so we'll move on to Happy Bucks. Anybody happy today? David Bricka, I know you're happy because you get to see my mother every day now for a while.
I do, and my goal of the week is to get your mother to Cherokee tomorrow.
Okay, you do that.
She should make it, so she's doing great. I'm also happy that this past Monday, I had the opportunity of presenting the 39th annual George C. Bricka Jr. Excellence Award to Lauren Benham. It was really a great evening and a great kid. All these kids at Juilliard High School are pretty impressive. The schools do a great job. So that was an honor as always. And then crazy story that I'm happy about. It's Pride Month, for those of you that don't know. And about 6 months ago, I responded to a questionnaire from a Rotarian who was going to be writing an article for the Rotarian magazine for June about Pride. I've been involved in an LGBTQ Rotary group. And so a couple weeks ago, I got a friend request from someone from the Cayman Islands. And we had no mutual friends, and I checked it out, and he was in Rotary. So I go, hey, there's a Rotarian. I'm going to accept his friend request. Well, about 10 minutes later, he sent me a message and said he really enjoyed the article about me and my partner in the Rotarian magazine. And I just was going, whoa, what's that about? So I went home and I found the magazine, and sure enough, one of the answers to the questions that I answered in this email made it into the Rotarian magazine, and I'm going to read it here. It's not very long. It says, when I became president of my club, my husband was seated at my side. The following year, when I passed my gavel, my husband pinned on my lapel the past president's diamond pin my late father received in 1976 when his term ended. I've worn it ever since. That was pretty significant to have that happen, considering we had to wait 11 years to the day to get married, Michael and I did. And my mom and dad married 6 weeks after they met back in 1955. So it really has been so wonderful how I've been received in the District 5050 when I was president of this club. I was accepted. In fact, everyone wanted to know where Michael was. Well, where's Michael? Why isn't he here? So it really was pretty cool to see this article on this very special day. And of all days, I don't have that pin on me, but I do wear it really every day. My dad, I vividly remember him talking about this diamond pin he got. It was the first diamond he owned in his life. So it's my prized possession, and I think of him every time I wear it, and the legacy he left. And presenting the award on Monday night, I had it on my lapel. So I'm really happy about that. And I'm so happy too that fellow Rotarian Ellen Schweigert and I and my husband Michael had the opportunity of visiting the Stonewall Inn in New York when we visited there. It was a trek that was very powerful and meaningful to us. So that's it.
Great. Thank you, David. Who else is happy? I got Paula down there, looks happy. Paula, we can't hear a word you're saying. It shows you're unmuted, so I don't know what the deal is. Well, can't hear you. Sorry. You can put it in the chat room, Paula. Type it out, and we'll go that way. Who else is happy? Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, it's my 16th wedding anniversary today, so I've thrown some happy bucks for that.
Congratulations. Mr. Skiles.
I guess I need to give $100. Happy day just because I now have a grandson as well as grandchildren who have received a Rotary Scholarship. So that's a great blessing to me to be a part of that.
Great. Anybody else? Go ahead. I can't see both screens at once. Tomas, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. I turned off my headset. I wasn't sure if it picked up yet. I have 21 happy bucks because I graduated from Leadership Skagit last night, class of 2021.
Congratulations. Anybody else is happy? Go ahead and speak up. I'll go
Hey,
ahead and put
Mike, I have one more quick happy buck. So Blake Gurney has made it to Richmond, Virginia. In this past Monday, he started his career with the Sigma Phi Epsilon fraternity. He's finding out which region he's going to be in today, and he's dealing with the cicadas and the weather.
Good deal. I'm happy. I had the pleasure of meeting our Rotary Student of the Month in person for a luncheon last Friday. That was really nice. We went over to Magnolia Grill, myself, Miss Carlton, and Mr. Brockman. I got to sit down with those guys and talk to them a little bit, so that was pretty cool. Nobody else is happy. We're going to move on. This time, I'd like to introduce Nick Van Jarsveld, who's going to introduce our speaker today. Nick.
I will deflect to Tim. Tim is on the board with Maddie. I thought he'd have one more to say. So how's that for deflection?
Okay, how about him?
Good one, Nick. Yeah, I'm very pleased to introduce Maddie McKenzie, who's our new Executive Director at the Skagit Community Foundation. And Maddie is a fellow Rotarian with the Anacortes Noon Rotary Club. And she also grew up in Anacortes in a commercial fishing family. She attended the University of Washington for undergrad and completed her Master's of Business Administration from Western Governors University last year. And for the last 6 years or so, Maddie has worked and volunteered for local nonprofit organizations in Skagit Valley, including Hospice of Northwest and the Island Hospital Foundation, before taking on her new role as the Executive Director at the Community Foundation. And as a current board member, I would just say that we are very excited, and Maddie's doing an excellent job so far. And I think we're really lucky to have her. So with that, the floor is yours, Maddie.
All right, thank you, everybody. I'm gonna share my screen here. Hopefully it works. Okay, do a presentation here. All right, is that showing up well for everybody?
You're good, Maddie.
Okay, awesome. So my name's Maddie. I'm the new Executive Director, and today's actually exactly my 3-month anniversary here. I've been loving it, and the best part is really getting to meet everybody, everyone from local organizations to donors to fellow leaders in the community. I'm just really, really loving it. And this is my first presentation, so apologies if there's kinks, but appreciate your patience. I first of all really want to give a huge thank you and congratulations to your club. Our partnership that began last year really helped. You raised funds for Helping Hands Food Bank, and with your $40,000 contribution that passed through us, we were able to double it with some matching fund grant opportunity. So partnerships like this are very, very beneficial for both our community, and we're always looking to do more great work like this. And also, speaking of your club as a fundraising powerhouse, I want to put on my Anacortes Rotary hat here for a second and share with you that our club really notices the great work that you do. I've been in committee meetings before where the conversation goes, how can we make our auction fundraiser successful like Cedar Woolley's? So you are definitely famous and a force to be reckoned with. I appreciate it. So I'll start off with a little bit of history. I know Skagit Community Foundation's presented to you before, so you may already be familiar. But the idea for the foundation came about in 1991 from Ralph Scott, a member of the Anacortes community, and he went to the mayor with the idea of a cultural center. The outcome was the inception of the Community Foundation, and originally it was under the umbrella of the Seattle Foundation. The primary goal was to raise funds for a performing arts center right here in Skagit County. In 1993, we filed for our official independent 501c3 status, and in 1996, we changed the name to Skagit Community Foundation. Before, it was the Greater Skagit Community Enhancement Foundation. And then in 2002, our bigger opportunity came to be a part of building McIntyre Hall, which opened its doors in 2004. The Burl Ives Endowment that we helped administrate the purpose of it was for operations and maintenance of the new facility. And fast forward to 2021, we currently have 51 endowments. We have 10 scholarship funds, 6 agency funds, and 3 pass-through funds that we administer. So what do we do? The short answer is that we provide charitable support to our community. We invest donor funds and allow them to grow over time. The larger the amount, the more substantial the growth. So each year, the board of directors determines the spending rate for our permanent endowments. Not all of them are permanent, but for the ones that are, our board votes on a spending rate between 2 and 5%, and then awards grants from those earnings every year. We customize philanthropy to meet the needs for donors and what they care about. We also function as a hub for nonprofits. We make connections not just between donors and organizations, but also nonprofit to nonprofit to make sure that our organizations that are working hard are connected to people who align with them, so they're not stepping on each other's toes, and just, really great partnerships in that regard. What was most amazing to me after starting this job, having worked in the nonprofit sector here in the community for more than 6 years, were the nonprofits I discovered and learned about after beginning this job. It made me really realize that we need to work hard to get the word out about our local organizations that are doing such great work in our community. So our vision is to make philanthropy really easy, really accessible, and the standard in Skagit County. And I know I'm kind of preaching to the choir. You guys really know how to give back, but we want to share that sentiment and broaden it, beyond to all the new people coming in, new businesses and everything else. So we want to help you find what you're looking for and to help connect you to what you're passionate about. So this kind of brought on a new idea, and it's probably going to happen early next year, but we're going to create a Skagit Giving Guide. And this is going to be a nonprofit directory, which will be available both online and a hard copy. And it'll function as our annual report, provide information for all the nonprofits that serve Skagit County, from their name, their website, mission, tax ID number, anything really. Make it easy to find what you care about. And so we are going to be looking to partner with real estate agents, looking at you, Danny, to hopefully get these into new homes so newcomers really know how to get involved and really give back. And also, we want to approach new businesses coming in. What are you passionate about? How can we help you find it? So it will be used as a tool to discover and to connect with the community. Another thing that's on the horizon for us, later this summer, we're going to be implementing a new software system, which is going to be so amazing and really helpful. But what we really liked about it is one thing I noticed when I was researching it was the way Orcas Island Community Foundation uses it. And they've grown exponentially in the past 10 years. They're doing really amazing things over there. But what they do is they open up their grant cycle. They provide an annual catalog. It's at least one time a year, I think 2. And I know for sure it's online, but they really summarize their local organizations and what they're asking for. So specific projects or programs, and inviting the community to take part in it. So if you're interested in something like the shower trailer for the homeless community, you can pitch in at whatever level is meaningful for you. So once we get this new software going, that is something we're going to be looking to do as well. So kind of back to the nuts and bolts of what we do, we provide options for donors. And when people think about charitable planned giving, they often think it's just leaving an organization in your will, but there are a ton more options than that. The first way is through donor advised funds. So the donor recommends the organizations or projects or programs that will receive grants, and then we do the due diligence and paperwork, and then every year that fund continues to grow. A field of interest fund is a little bit more general, and it supports a cause that matters to you. For example, something like basic needs or youth education, and we help find the organizations or projects or programs within or outside of the grant cycle that match up and align with those parameters. Our designated funds, also known as an agency fund, is to benefit one particular single nonprofit. And so you pick the nonprofit, we make the grants both now and over time. Our unrestricted funds is giving without any restrictions or conditions. And this is one of the best ways to make distributions to meet the greatest needs in our community. Pass-through funds, so a donor provides the funding, the donation, and we make the distributions. This works particularly well for certain scholarships, for donors who want to remain really anonymous, and also for things like the Anacortes Women's Giving Circle, where they meet annually and they pool a bunch of smaller donations, and then we collect, administrate, and then distribute to the organizations or programs that they vote on. And our annual grant cycle. So this happens traditionally once a year, and any nonprofit with 501c3 status that serves Skagit County may apply. It's an online grant application, and there's follow-up reporting required for all grantees. There's an interim report 6 months later, and then a one-year report. So we are ensuring that donor funds are used the way that they were intended. So grant applications, all of them that are submitted, we work really hard to match their application with our available funding. Donor advisors are consulted, and every application is scored, considered, and evaluated by our board of directors. Grant applications for our standard annual grant cycle open from November to February, and then the decision-making and distribution process happens March through May. And this year, we just concluded last month our grant cycle, and there were 80 different nonprofit applicants, and 40 of those organizations received funding. Just a hair under $385,000 in grants were awarded, and you can see the full list. It's available on our website, and we link to their websites if you want to learn more about them. But one that was really important to me, really touching, was our grant to the Skagit Ground Search and Rescue for new equipment. My younger brother, when he was 24 years old, he had to be rescued off of Mount Baker. He was snowmobiling in the springtime, and they were like going up this hill and fell 40 feet down into a crevasse. And he was knocked out, he had a collapsed lung, and it was a really strong coordinated effort between search and rescue and the Navy. They brought in their helicopter to get to that high elevation. So when I was, bringing all the checks to the post office, that one was really, something special for me. Let's see. Okay, And something new this year, we have 2 funds that we did not completely deplete. There's a lot of funding available, so we are hosting a second targeted grant cycle. And the parameters for this, the guidelines, are organizations that serve basic needs. And this can be food, clothing, shelter, medical, childcare, things like that, and disaster relief, both for nonprofits serving those affected by COVID and for organizations that they themselves have been impacted by COVID. Applications will be accepted from August 1st through September 20th. And the application will be online just like our traditional grant cycle, just slightly shorter because there's a shorter timeline. But more details and grant guidelines will be coming out by the end of this month. And here are our board of directors, also my bosses. They are amazing, really wonderful people. They have a wide range of skills, talents, experience, and networks. They volunteer their time by conducting research, they contribute their knowledge, and they make really important, big decisions. You know, namely the grant cycle, but, you know, all throughout the year too. They are responsible for this organization and they do really, really great work. I want to throw it out there. If you could see yourself amongst this motley crew, we are looking to add board members. So if you're interested or just want to learn more, you can contact me or Tim, whoever you're most comfortable with. And hope that you all stay in touch. We're located in Westside Mount Vernon. We moved to a new office building at the end of 2019, so right before the pandemic. We're right across from Banner Bank on Memorial Highway. We also have a monthly digital newsletter that you can sign up for under the Contact Us page on our website. And that comes out at the beginning of each month. But yeah, feel free to email, call, or stop by any time. I'm here at least from 8 to 5 every day, unless I'm at a meeting off site. But that is what I have today. Do we have time for questions, or does anybody have questions?
By all means, Maddie, if anybody's got any questions, please speak up now. Go ahead, and I won't even call your name, just speak.
Maddie, this is Rebecca from Helping Hands Food Bank. And I just wanted to say thank you for all the work that the foundation did during COVID. I think you guys were one of the first phone calls that said, what do you need? Really, it was, what do you need? And looking at the lifetime of Helping Hands and the foundation, you guys have either passed through or your donors donated over $200,000 to the food bank. And it's been a good relationship, and I'm really proud that Skagit County has such a strong foundation. And my question was going to be your future, but you talked on that. So welcome to the foundation, and thank you for supporting the nonprofits.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to getting your application for our second grant cycle. Yeah, really appreciate the work you do too. We're happy to support.
Other questions? Well, nobody's speaking up. So, well, thank you so much, Maddie, for joining us today. And best of luck in your new job. I know my wife sure misses you over at the hospice board, but
I miss her too.
Glad that you're doing something that tugs at your heartstrings here. So, thank you.
I wanted to ask, how is that Rotary president of yours working out over there?
Tim is amazing. He has done some incredible work all through COVID. He keeps our meetings that we're Zoom all year, like lively, and he introduced the song thing too, which has been really fun. I enjoy that.
Well, give him that time for us from Cedar Woolley, will you?
Yeah. You do realize, Maddie, Tim started out at Cedar Woolley Rotary Club, so he got his training over here.
I didn't know that.
Just saying. Oh, well, thank you so much for joining us today, Maddie. Really appreciate it. Yeah. Next week's speaker is going to be National Guard Captain Vance Whippo, who serves as a chaplain, and Master Sergeant Rick Bailey, who is a non-commissioned officer in charge. Get your auction items in, people. If you haven't volunteered for the foot race, please get a hold of Brock or Kyle. And if you're available this Saturday night and need something to do, get a hold of Rebecca Scrindy and volunteer for the Helping Hands Food Bank fundraiser. Having said all that, my thought for the day, since we're right in the middle of baseball season, my thought comes from Jim Abbott. Now, I don't know whether most of you know who Jim Abbott was, but he was a pitcher who had a 10-year career in the major leagues. He played for people like the California Angels and the Yankees and the White Sox, and I think he even did a brief stint for the Brewers. But this was all despite being born without a right hand. He did not have a right hand. He just had a stump. He said, "Never allow the circumstances of your life become an excuse. People will allow you to do it, but I believe you have a personal obligation to make the most of the abilities you have." With that being said, I'm going to call this meeting to a close. Have a good weekend, everybody, and take care. Bye.